Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Build Battle 101, and today I'm going to go over shapes. Now, shapes is an extremely complicated topic, so I'll probably have to cover it in two parts. This will be the first part over normal shapes, next time I'll go over more organic shapes. So let's start off simple, and then a lot of these will be shapes related to house building, and other type structures that aren't so much, these giant dragons and stuff. We'll get more into organic building next episode, as I said. But that's enough stalling. Here, let's start simple. We have a square. Take that square, make it a bit longer, got a rectangle. Then we have triangles. Triangles can be kind of 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, or 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2 kind of thing. It's whatever works. Oh. And yeah, that's basically those. Now we get to where it starts to get a bit complicated. Circles. Now, you can make ovals, which are slightly wider, or just very much so wider, or you can just make a normal circle. Now, in building circles, I typically try to stick to odd numbers plus 2. What does that mean? Well, typically when building circles, a lot of these shapes here work best if you do odd numbers plus 2. For example, here we have 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 5, 3, 2. You get the point. Using that odd number plus 2 and just kind of making it descend and then as it turns grow again, I made a circle. Now, you don't always have to use 2, you don't always have to, it's just kind of a thing that you start to feel out. Like, I'm not going to go 2 for that kind of circle over there. I just went straight from, this one. I went straight from 3 to 1. So basically, it's just something you have to get used to. Now, using this kind of circle pattern, we can expand roofs. Like, we can make a short roof, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Or we can make kind of the tall, spiry roofs that curve up, like a 1, 2, 3, 5, 3, 2, 1. So how would I use this? Well, I'm going to show you how to make like a simple kind of house shape with this. So instead of just going for your simple square like a lot of people would normally do, it's important to add shape. So I'm going to add another room coming off the back here, like this. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And just build that out to match. Okay, this house is starting to have a bit more shape. So now I'm just going to go for the shape I typically do with a lot of houses, which is this kind of shape, and then in the back, apart from this, I'm going to add a circle. So let's mark out where that is. So we have a 5 block gap here, which makes me think bam, 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 bam. Kind of 3, 1, 3 that we did earlier. We can break some of these inner walls to kind of get that shape more. Cool, we're starting to have a house with a more interesting shape. Now I'm going to... let's do something different. Let's make it kind of triangle. Talked about triangles, let's add some triangles on the corner. Bam. Hi, it's me in editing. So half of the roof footage got cut out. Basically all you missed is that we built up the walls, then I used that same pattern that I used for the circle kind of pointed roof to apply to making the roof on the house. Sorry about the inconvenience, but yeah, what can you do? Nice, the roof is finished, and this is what it ended up looking like. Since we chose more of a blocky pattern with this, we got more of a blocky roof. Now, normally for this kind of roof, I would work on it and smooth it over, and also I would ensure it's even, but since this is just a demonstration roof, I'll leave it here. So you may be asking, what was the importance of making the roof? It helped teach us an important skill which does come more into play in Build Battle than building houses, and that skill would be the ability to do what I call wireframing. Now, what is wireframing? Wireframing is a term that I use, not sure if it's a real one, but it's one that I use to basically describe the process of making a 3D shape. So now the best way I found to make these 2D shapes into 3D shapes is just to make a lot of 2D shapes. So for example, if I want to turn this kind of circle into a sphere, sorry, second, just have to build in there. I would want to do something like this. So that's going to be the size of our sphere. I'm going to start off on expanding all of these so that they have room for circles. Now I'm going to finish these circles and then I'll be right back, so I don't want to have to make you all sit through that. Now that we have the frame of our sphere done, we have to start filling it in. Now I'm just going to do one corner to show you basically how it works, but you would have to do this on all of the corners if you're making an actual one. So to start off with, you want to make a circle shape. But here, fill it in. Kind of like this. So the main purpose, like I said, is just making tons of 2D shapes over and over. I wasn't lying. So you basically go rank by rank, kind of through each of these, kind of like this. And then you turn that into a circle. So eventually you're left with this kind of corner shape, and bam. You have that corner of the sphere. Now I'm going to finish off the rest of the sphere just so you can kind of get what it looks like. But just remember, it's all filling in that same circle shape. Cool, so I just did what I did in that corner over the entire thing, and bam, you have a sphere. Now, quick side note, since this is tips for build battle, don't build out of diamonds first, then do it. One, that takes a lot of time. Two, you can instant replace it in build battle. You would need to go through by hand and fix it. And with this kind of thing, it's very easy to make small mistakes. So if you're going to build a sphere in build battle, which it takes up quite a bit of time, so I would just recommend doing a cube or something. But enough of that. If you're going to build a sphere, do it with the material you intend on using. But next, speaking of build battle, I'm going to show you a few cases where using these kind of shapes would be helpful. If you're in Build Battle Pro and you get a theme like clock, knowing how to build a circle is very important. So I'm going to stick with one that I use quite frequently because it's just a decent sized circle that isn't too complicated and looks nice. The 3 2 1 2 3 2 1 2, that one. Now if you want, you could go through and memorize it, but I think it's just better to practice making circles. That way if you have to make a bigger one, you can easily do it. Or if you have to make a smaller one, you can easily do it and you're not just stuck to a preset amount of shapes. Now this circle is going to be a lot easier because it's really just filling itself in for you. And you'll see we have an interesting corner on this one, which you'll see a lot when you get into more of these kind of mid-range circles, the 2-2. There's no one there to separate it, just 2. And it always seems like it'll be a really rough corner, but then it never is. Also, quick side note while I'm here, you can also do that kind of corner as well. That's something you'll see quite often in circles. For example, with this size circle, you'll need to do that kind of corner. But yeah, let's get back to the clock. Stay on topic. So, knowing how to make those kind of circles when building themes like clock can be very helpful. Because now, you just made a bunch of circles and you have a clock. Or if you're not in pro mode and you're just in normal mode, knowing how to make that kind of circle and expand upon it can be helpful in building things like cakes. Because I know pro mode has bakery and I'm pretty sure there's a cake theme in normal build battle. So in knowing how to build a cake, it's very important to know how to build a circle. Most of the time when people think cake, they think, hey, that's just a circle. Kind of like that. Now this wasn't too hard to make because I knew how to make the circle, so I just expanded it out. And again, this isn't the best build. If I were doing it in a normal build battle, I'd recommend making it a bit bigger. But it's also important to remember when making build battle, you don't have infinite time. So be very careful not to go too big because it can be very hard trying to figure out these shapes. So basically this has been a basic introduction to shapes, 3D shapes, and wireframing. I hope to expand upon shapes soon with organic shapes so you'll be able to build of like dragons and snakes. For now, I'll give you a bit of a sneak peek on how to make a simple organic kind of line. So we're gonna start off with a simple organic snake. Now, when doing this, I kind of use the same pattern I'll use for a lot of time when I'm making noodle dragons, which is to kind of make that kind of shape. What you want to do is you want to place blocks fast as you move around and kind of have your route planned. Like, I know I want this to kind of wrap around the front here so that it looks like he's standing on solid ground and has the ability. Bam! There we go. There's the body of the snake. I'm doing a snake because getting into like the more 3D and like deeper creatures that aren't just that few blocks thick, that'll have to be next time. But yeah, I'm making a simple snake shape, so then I just come up here, I'm gonna make a cute little snake head. Skull. Yeah. I'm just gonna make a cute little snake head here, that way we can see kind of what he made here. And yeah, that's just a basic snake shape. I'll get more into like how to make this look different, how to make it look a bit more strong, a bit less flat down here. That'll all have to be the next time when I do organic shapes more so. But for now, I have been Galactiverse, and you have been the viewer. But first, if you enjoyed this, please leave a like and comment what you want help learning how to build. Be it like color palette, I can cover that, kind of magic, how to make magic effects with glass. I can do all this stuff. So please, just let me know in the comments what seems interesting, and if you know someone who needs help learning how to build, share it with them. They might find it helpful. But either way, I have been Galactiverse, and you have been the viewer, and I thank you, the viewer. See ya.